don't know what's in store. I've been dealing with these blessings that I can't ignore. Putting up the numbers, we ain't keeping score. Amen, amen. I here on the block, my side. Run it in the house for it's 12 o'clock. Yeah, the hood love me, but you gotta watch. Amen, amen. I just three, I don't do sleep. Yeah, tryna see, UV. Yeah, we gon' fall through, coming through deep. Amen, amen. Yeah, packed it from the south, moved it to the west. Iced the logo on the cross, threw it on my neck. Yeah, when I rep the set, gotta stay blessed. Yeah, amen, amen. People tryna say I'm on the enemy. Got a code with my dogs, can't get in between. I can give them life, no more energy. Amen, amen. Man, put him into me. Everybody tryna take the identity. Everybody around me turn to a friend of me. Sit back while I take on the remedy. I cannot let it get into me. It's playing a toll on me, meant to me.
Everybody, I'm Larry Ridley. You're tuned in to the NFL on EA Sports. Today's matchup features two teams looking for a win. It's the Steelers coming in at 5-1, going up against the Bengals, who come in at 2-3. With that, it's time to hook up with our commentators in the booth as we turn it over to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Larry, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the steel capital of the world, Pittsburgh, PA, and Heinz Field. A few moments ago, the Steeler offensive starters, including all-pro wideout Antonio Brown, were introduced. And they've got this crowd in a frenzy as they get set to square off with the Cincinnati Bengals. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, we look at this Steeler ball club entering play. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for the Bengals here, they come in with some fresh legs as they got the week off last week thanks to the early season bye.
And usually you hope your bye comes a little bit later in the year. But when you get a chance to get fresh legs back, you take that time and you run with it.
Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So here are the Steelers now to take over for the first time. They'll be led out by a man who's becoming an elder statesman among quarterbacks in the league, drafted back in 2004. It's Ben Roethlisberger.
And I thought it was a really nice performance last week by him. 3 touchdown passes. I think that signifies exactly what he was getting done. He did have the 1 interception.
But that's the ratio you say you're okay with, right?
If you go 3-1, you're going to be pretty happy over the course of the season. And let's face it, he'll never blame the receiver publicly. But behind closed doors, he probably told his agent, hey, what's the deal? I should have had a perfect game.
Now a carry for the former Michigan State man, Le'Veon Bell. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. On your screen now, here are the offensive starters. At wideout, Antonio Brown is certainly someone that the defense always has to account for.
Without a doubt, a true #1 receiver. It doesn't matter to him how defenses want to cover him. He sees it as a challenge and knows how to defeat them.
Possible run anticipation. Here's the D-line sandwiches together. Over the middle here to Brown. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Roethlisberger hooking up with Brown to get the Steelers a first.
I know everyone wants that prototypical wide receiver, you know, the 6'3", 200-plus-pound guy, like a Julio Jones and A.J. Green and Dez Bryant. Antonio Brown just shatters that, doesn't he? Smaller in stature, but still able to use his quickness, his elusiveness, and his strength to create big plays.
A gain of 3, second down. On second down, Roethlisberger throwing the out route incomplete. That's James. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Roethlisberger to his big target, James, all 6-7 of him for a Steeler first down.
Coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Not much happening there on first down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
They'll run it here. This is Antonio Andrews. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. It'll be a loss of 1, and that's going to lead to a third down.
Every year I go to the combine and marvel at the speeds that linebackers are running nowadays. They run like DBs. And let's face it, they know how to finish plays too. Eyes up, head up, run right through them.
And an alley to run. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. A gain of 8 and a first down. So here we go, 1st and 10 now. Now Roethlisberger going to hand the bell. Down to the 30 after a gain of 3.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. It'll be a gain of 4, and it'll be third down. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved. Just as you said, they want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
False start, offense.
Well, it was a third and somewhat manageable, now not so manageable.
Exactly, because you had a play call on that you felt like, hey, this could go quick, and it doesn't take much to get it done. Now, you got to start thinking about a little bit of a deeper route type of a call, especially if you want to throw it.
To throw here, Roethlisberger. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. On 4th down, here comes the Steeler punter Jordan Berry to kick it away. And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. And this will be out of bounds at the what here? The 12-yard line. So here are the Bengals now with a long field ahead of them. They'll be led out by the Red Rifle. From TCU, it's Andy Dalton.
And coming off of an early season open week. And in this situation, what he told us when we sat down with him was he spent a lot of time working on fundamentals, kind of getting back to basics during that time, as opposed to having to worry about healing up or resting up. It's too early in the season. Get back to the basics, get his game going again.
Now the rookie from Oklahoma, it's Joe Mixon. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets this football out shy of the 30 to the 29. Give him 17 and a Cincinnati first down. That O-line, they cleared a big hole there on that run.
The athleticism of offensive lines continues to evolve, and we're seeing it here. Not only are they controlling things right at the line of scrimmage, but they're able to get upfield to get to what we call the second and the third levels. You know, get to the linebacker spot, the secondary spot, getting all the way downfield with their blocking, which helps keep the running back clean.
They'll try to continue that trend here this afternoon. They go play action here on first down. And his throw is incomplete. Tyler Boyd, the former Pitt Panther, was the target. And now it's second down. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
Second down here after the incomplete pass. To throw again. Dalton. And the catch made. It's Tyler Boyd. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. And they'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for third down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
First and 10 for Dalton. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked off William Gay.
And Brandon, the passing game for both of these teams is going to be affected as the game goes along. It's not looking like the rain's going to let up anytime soon. So that might mean a few more wobbly passes and wide receiver slips. And this one winds up getting intercepted.
They'll start out on the ground with Bell. Strong run, but he's corralled just beyond the 40. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
I once had a defensive player in the NFL tell me, if I beat and dominate the guy across from me, I'm helping my team. Well, winning one-on-one battles is always a part of the game, but when you have good team defense, as we just saw there, one broken tackle, but he didn't get away because the rest of the guys arrived to put him on the ground.
They'll go again with Bell. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 5.
And that's why you see a lot of teams that like to play 4-3 defense, especially against teams that run the ball really well, because you count on your defensive front, the tackles and the ends, to eat up the blocking in the offensive line and keep that guy in the middle clean so he can roam to the football and make a tackle. In this case, he introduced himself and said, "Hello, my name is Mike."
And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
And taking a gander at the NFL scoreboard in Minneapolis. And it's the Ravens that have moved out to an early advantage. It's a 42-yard punt, but 8 on the return. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. Joe Flacco, an early touchdown pass in that one. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
But how about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said it didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves and maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off William Gay. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Steeler touchdown. Well, we know this defense has athleticism. Spots like that prove us right.
I love the way that you spotlighted the athletic. criticism because you and I both know the best athletes on the field, they play on defense.
Oh, I don't know. I was a kicker. You got to remember that now.
Come on, come on.
Fine. And we'll see if this rain affects the team's decisions going forward, but they kick it here, and it's good. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This is taken near the 13. Getting set to go again, Andy Dalton marches back onto the field. He's completed 4 passes so far in this game. The issue is 2 of them have been to the guys in the wrong colored jersey.
So I'd say there's a little bit of clouded vision. Right? Sometimes he sees clearly, sometimes he doesn't. I know on the sideline they'll be going over things and talk about what the coverages are and what they're seeing. So you used to look at the snapshots. Now you look at the Microsoft Surface Pro. He's got to analyze what he's seeing and be more accurate with the ball. Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Again, it's Mixon. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. Dalton throwing on second down. Mixon hit, and the ball is out. And it's picked up by the Steelers. Past the 20. And he's in for 6 and a Steeler touchdown. So that is now 2 fumble return touchdowns. You talk about something that's going to drive a head coach crazy.
Without a doubt. But for the defensive guys, once you do it once, you create a frenzy. Everybody wants to get involved, and they got it done a second time.
Boswell for the extra point. And it's good to make it 14-0. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. Fairly short kick taken at the 14 here. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. A first down throw coming for Dalton. Over the middle, Cooper with it. That one goes for 24 yards. Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, and it's the Bengals with a football to begin quarter number 2. And they've got it here with a first down. Now Dalton. They'll set up the screen here to Mixon. And some room to roam now. The Bengals passing game finding a rhythm. They've got another first.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
Amari Cooper, his intended receiver, and it's second down.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
Second and 10. Dalton once more. And he whips that one incomplete there. Amari Cooper, the intended target. And it's third down.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. Third down, a shot here for Dalton. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. The Bengals passing game finding a rhythm. They've got another first. Dalton operating in the red zone now. Out out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. Give him 2 yards on that play, and it'll be second down. The first carry now for the BYU man. It's Jamal Williams. And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And it'll be 3rd and 10. Here's Dalton. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
I think that was a good job there defensively. They did allow them to drive all the way downfield, but once they got their backs to the goal line, they really turned up the pressure.
Yeah, they let them get all the way down here. Now the field shrinks. They've struggled to convert, and that last incompletion brings up 4th. So they'll come away with nothing here. A disappointing result even on a day like this.
And as a kicker in the rain, you've got to slow things down a little bit. Give your holder an extra half second to make sure everything's secure. And here, he might have rushed this one a little, and it winds up no good.
A reminder later tonight, a game some folks have had circled on their calendars since the schedule. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. Jordan Evans, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye. That happened fast and a big sack. On second down, here's Roethlisberger. Man open left side is Brown. And he'll go out of bounds across the 35-yard line. A good pickup there of 20 yards. A good grab there by the former Central Michigan man, Antonio Brown.
And he ate up some real estate on the catch, too, didn't he? I think the most impressive part of it, though, if there's a chance for him to get the football, even though he was covered well, he somehow finds a way to get it.
The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Well, forget about finding a lane there. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Probably fortunate he's able to hold on to the football.
Roethlisberger will throw. Man open right side. It's Rodgers. And he's going to be stopped dead in his tracks. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down. And the Steelers on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. They'll try and run for it with Bell. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
They tried to run right into the teeth of the defense on 3rd down, but looked like those teeth were pretty sharp.
They were having absolutely none of it. Stuffed him for a loss.
Yeah, couldn't get any leverage up front and move people aside in order to run the ball.
And he'll take this in at the 1-yard line. And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. The 30, 10, and all the way in for a Cincinnati score. What a risk he took, but it paid off. I mean, he took that punt from inside the 5 near the goal line, ran it all the way back.
And normal coaching says you let that one go. Anytime you're inside the 10-yard line, you let it hit and hopefully bounce into the end zone. But as you mentioned, he took a risk, and boy, did it pay off in a big way. I wonder if they let up a little bit going downfield, thinking that there was no way he was going to return that one.
This is taken just shy of the 10 here. Now a hit and a loose football. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
They'll start the drive with a carry by Bell. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36. And after getting tackled, he's still down and looking very slow to get up. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. Roethlisberger to throw on second down. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Rodgers. And he'll be out of bounds up near midfield at the 49. It's a Pittsburgh first down, a gain of 13. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
First and 10, it's Roethlisberger. And this is caught by Martavis Bryant. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Here's Roethlisberger. Over the middle, it's Thomas. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. The passing game in rhythm right now for Pittsburgh. There's another first down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
Had a good move, but only able to work it to the 20-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. He completes it to Bryant. And he picks up the first as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. Back to Heinz Field after this. Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. Able to push his way through, and he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. Call it a 3-yard gain, and that'll make it second and goal. From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. And he's in for 6 and a Steeler touchdown. And Roethlisberger, his first touchdown on the year. And the Steelers find a way to stretch their lead.
That score was not a game clincher by any stretch of the imagination. But the other team now has to be careful to not let this game begin to slip away.
Boswell on now to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. Now, they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. But let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there.
No gain on that run, and while the team is down, there's still time to come back and win the football game. If I'm the offensive coordinator, though, I've got to think about moving at a faster pace and maybe opening things up a little bit and throwing it a little bit more.
They'll stay on the ground, mixing again, and some room to work. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. Give him 17 at a Cincinnati first down.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
Now a play fake here on first down. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
The one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. Another look for Dalton on 2nd and 10. Now they go screen. It's complete. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11. Out of the gun, it's Dalton. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down. Now the Steelers put a stop to the action with a time. Defensively. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Now the left-footed punter in his 9th year, Kevin Huber, on to kick. Back deep for the Steelers, Antonio Brown. And now running right through it. And just a net of 31 here. 40-yard punt, 9 on the return. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. And you see the clock almost empty, so this is likely the last play in the second quarter. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. The drive begins with a handoff to Andrews. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. The second half upon us sooner than we bargained for. Let's get to it. These teams are out and ready to go. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. It's a short kick, taken at the 15. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The Bengal offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there.
But this is
I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Dalton with a give here to Mixon. And he's brought down. That good for 19 and a first down.
The more football I watch, the more I want to check and see if teams are going to panic when they're down on the scoreboard. And this team has shown no signs of doing that. A lot of the time, they come out after the half. Things haven't worked so well in the first go-around. They want to throw the football like crazy. But the way to open up throwing the ball is to run it. And they've run it well here to start the second half.
He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. Passing again. Dalton on 2nd and 10. Trying for Cooper again. This time he finds it. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. It's a gain of 13, and the Bengals have a first down. On 1st and 10, here's Andy Dalton. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. Call it a 1-yard gain of the play, and that'll bring up second down. Another chance for Dalton. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. The Bengals passing game finding a rhythm. They've got another first.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
They come out here in the eye. They'll try and run. This is Williams. And this time the yards won't come so easy as they'll, in fact, tackle him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and that'll bring up a 2nd and goal. From the gun, Dalton looks to throw, and he slings one that's incomplete.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
Gotta figure this is one they need here on 3rd and goal. Throwing, Dalton. Oh, it's a touchdown if he holds on. Instead, it's 4th down.
Just looking at it from a defensive perspective, when you break the huddle in the red zone, tight end is one of the guys you've got a key on because quarterbacks want the ball in their hands fast in this position, and they want to get it to someone. And in this case, he had the play. They just didn't complete it.
Still just the 3rd quarter, but they've got to make something happen. I think they know that. They're going for it on 4th. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. They'll try to pass on 4th down. Dalton, and he's going to go down. Sacked right around the 17. He couldn't get the ball away on 4th. And goal. And this Steeler defense able to come up with a stop. Now the Steelers offense gets ready to get back onto the field. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Yeah, still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
On 2nd down, Roethlisberger. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Brown. And that one results in 35 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
Oh, incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there. Almost intercepted. Instead, it's just 2nd down.
You're down 2 touchdowns. You just know defensively you absolutely have to come up with a big play. That nearly was one right there.
Looked over at the sideline immediately after the drop and just saw the dejection. They felt it. They thought he had it. Unfortunately, couldn't come up with it. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation.
It's real easy to say this running game needs to be better, but the reality is they've been given little time to actually find a place to run the football. It's almost like the defense is there on the handoff.
Now it's Roethlisberger. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up, keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. The Bengals offense now, they head back onto the field. And on the last drive, they were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this go-around?
I don't think it changes much for the head coach because this is what he preaches all the time. Attack at all times in any spot on the field, and he likes touchdowns, not field goals. Now, your field goal kicker, you've got to make sure you nurse him through and say, okay, don't worry about it. When we need you, you've got to be ready to go. And the team, of course, loves to see points on the board. So let's see if it changes a little bit if they're in the same spot again.
Well, we'll see what the decision is here if they get to that spot.
No gain on that run. And while this team is down, they're not out of it by any stretch of the imagination. Maybe you just have to think about a different style of running in order to get this guy going.
Now they run with Mixon. And he'll take this one only up to about his 13-yard line. A gain of a yard gets them back where they started. Now it's 3rd and 10.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
Now the Bengals on 3rd down. 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. Dalton here from the gun. Got a man. It's Ross, complete. And they're able to convert on 3rd with a solid gain of 23. And Dalton to throw. And that one falls incomplete. Try to dump it underneath. Now 2nd down.
I know that interception was dropped, and it would have been their 3rd of the game, and I will guarantee you, in the huddle, on the bench, all the defensive guys have been talking about is, we've got this guy right where we want him. Who's going to get the next one? It almost becomes a challenge, and they've missed a golden opportunity.
Pushing his way through. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. The Bengals passing game finding a rhythm. They've got another first. Now Dalton with a 1st and 10. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he'll get it down here to the 43. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and it'll make it a 2nd down. And it'll be Dalton again. And that'll be incomplete. So he can't hang on, and as I watch... unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
3rd down, a shot here for Dalton. A bullet throw, but incomplete. So now 4th down looming. Remember, these guys went for it on their last drive, but it didn't work out.
Even though it didn't work out, I would not be surprised at all if they went ahead and did it again.
You miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Darn right.
I guess they figure they got to start taking some chances. Here's a big one in this 3rd quarter as he'll go for it on 4th down. And again, Andy Dalton to throw. Flush to his right. He may try and run for this. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a 1st down. 10 yards there on a Bengal first. First and 10 for Dalton. Boyd's the target, and he has it over the middle. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another 1st down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
And this is caught. It's Cooper. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you down.
And he's got it. Touchdown, Bengals. That's a score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there's an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
Elliott now to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. They start on the ground with Andrews. And a big collision there as he winds up flat on his back right at the line of scrimmage. It's Steeler football, and they have the lead as well as we begin quarter number 4. Offense looking to avoid a 3rd and long. It's 2nd and 10. Shift together here from the D-line. They'll run again here with Andrews. Powers through him. Space to maneuver at the 40. And all the way down to the 26. It's a big play there for the Steelers. 49 yards on the ground.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there. And on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously. But at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
They'll run it now out of the gun. It's a gain of 6, moves them to a manageable 3rd and 2 situation.
I like that run right there, partner. Not the flashiest run, not the one that's going to break for big yardage, but he understands the situation, and taking care of the football, paramount, and he got it done.
Nursing that slim lead, you're exactly right. Hold on to that ball. First carry for James Conner, and the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Now, I can't imagine any celebrations being any bigger than your first NFL touchdown. And this rookie running back is still seeking his. He's not going to get it on that play.
And Boswell's kick is good. And that will bump the lead up to 11. So a big one there as that gives them a little cushion.
And you know, here in the 4th quarter, the fact that they were able to bleed some time off the clock and put points on the board, even if it's only 3, that could turn out to be the drive that ultimately wins them the game.
Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And they're hoping to capture some of that magic they had last time out when they were able to put together a scoring drive. But they're still down here, Charles.
Not the major concern, though, because of what you talked about. They scored the last time out. They feel good about themselves. They feel like their game plan is now in effect. They know how to attack and what plays they want to put together. But they've got to keep it moving in the right direction because, as you did note, they are down on the scoreboard.
Well, not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right, that pass will go from incomplete to complete.
And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
He finds Ross, right side, it's complete. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. A big play there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Bengals have got it back to a 1-score game. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions, and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Well, I guess the coach looked at the 2-point cheat sheet and said, go for it, get it to a 3-point game, and they did it.
Yeah, and sometimes you just throw out time of game. You don't worry about that. There's just a feel sometimes in making that call, and he felt good about what he had for a 2-point conversion, and now they're only down 3 and feeling great about themselves.
Martavis Bryant, 20, 10, and he's in for 6 and a Steeler touchdown. Martavis Bryant, 88 yards, and the Steelers are going to add on to their lead. Extra point now by Boswell. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Joe Mixon and the rest of his offense making their way back onto the field. He's toppled the century mark already, receiving the football, closing in on that on the ground, too. They've really had trouble handling him.
I think from what we've seen in this game, his success through the air has started to open things up for him on the ground because now he's loosened up the defense, right? They've got to play just about every snap as if another receiver can get downfield on them, and he's been that receiver. Now they bring him back to the backfield. I think his yardage running the ball will increase as this one goes on.
Well, they might need to devote some extra attention to him, something just to stop the momentum he has. Passing, it's Dalton. They'll set up the screen here to Mixon. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. Third and long. What will Dalton dial up? Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. A big play there. 79 yards. And the Bengals able to get this back within a touchdown.
I know Paul Revere talked about by land or by sea, right? You know, 1 by land, 2 by sea. He didn't mention air because right now we're seeing a big-time performance, aren't we? That's 2 touchdowns so far in this game.
Where'd you pull that one from?
And, you know, every now and then I actually listened in history class.
And you're just a scholar all the way around. You're reading all the time. I like that you fit that in the book.
Yeah, you know, I just grab a nugget when I can.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. On 1st and 10, it's Roethlisberger. Bryant with a catch right side. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Here's Roethlisberger. A dump off this time for Andrews. And he'll get it down here to the 43. Calling a game 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage, if he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's the one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
On 3rd down, that's Connor, and not going to be able to push this forward. He runs into a wall right at the line of scrimmage. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it. Get the 1st down. Close it out.
And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. They have gone to the 4th quarter, by the way, in that game in Cleveland. And you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. Marcus Mariota, 3 touchdown passes thus far. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. John Ross and the rest of the offense heading back onto the field. A chance here on this drive to hit that often elusive 200-yard mark for him.
Throw him the ball. Throw him the ball. Forget analysis, all right? Let's just root a little bit here. Get him the football and get past that 200-yard mark.
Boy, you want that. You seem excited.
I know, and it's really weird because normally I want guys to intercept the ball. Right? I want to knock it down. In this case, he's been fun to watch.
The former DB rooting for the wide receivers. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Well, that play was doomed right from the start.
They just about ran into every defender on that one, didn't he? It felt like everyone got a piece of that tackle.
Dalton throwing on 2nd down. And his throw is going to be incomplete. Intended that time for Cooper, and it's 3rd down.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. Here's Dalton, and he'll hit the slant route. That's caught by Cooper. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. They pick up 10, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And they've got a 4th down now in a game that, to be honest, has been pretty much everything we could have asked for. And no, it's incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Steelers, they're going to take over an excellent field position. And he'll have a tough time living that one down. It's one thing, Charles, to drop a pass. It's quite another to drop it on 4th down.
And so many teams work on that in terms of locking in on those key downs. You know, you and I both been to practices where we've seen, hey, 3rd down situation, big 3rd down alert, lock in here. 4th down play, make sure you focus just a little bit extra. It didn't pay off in that situation.
And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. On the ground, Andrews again. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. And now the Bengals are going to call another timeout. That'll be their 2nd, so one more chance to stop the clock here, and we'll be back. On third down, that's Andrews. And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line. Now the defense will burn their third and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. So on fourth down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a two-score game. And that's off the right upright. Thought it might sneak in, but it did not. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. So this defense gets an assist from the goalpost, and as a result, it's going to keep them within one score.
Yeah, and that looked to be good the whole way. But that is a big break here in the fourth quarter of a football game. Now your offense needs to find a way to capitalize.
They'll look to throw. And he fires one incomplete. Cooper was the intended target, and that'll bring up second down. This defense has watched their lead dwindle away. This is where they really need to bow up. They executed well there. And it's often hard after you've played really well early, and then you kind of relax a little bit, to step on the gas again. They just did it on the last play. Looks like they want to finish this one off. Now a desperation throw deep down. This is caught at the 20. And he takes it down deep into Pittsburgh territory. A big play there for Cincinnati. 43 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
So 2nd and 10 here. He'll look to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Ryan Shazier in there to drop him as the clock continues to roll. He didn't get rid of the football there, took the sack. Although that's easier said than done. He can't just chuck the thing sideways into the seats.
No, he really can't, because you're not afforded total protection as a quarterback. You have to get outside of the tackle boxes as defined by the NFL, meaning wherever your tackles operate normally, get outside of that. And the ball that you throw has to get back to at least the line of scrimmage. Otherwise, you face an intentional grounding call.
So this defense, they looked a little shaky to start the drive. The bottom line, they're a play away from finishing it off.
They rocked them a little bit on this drive, didn't they? But as you and I both know, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. They have a chance to end it right here.
He's back to throw. And that is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And that's going to be just about all she wrote for this one. Well, that's the 4th time that they've tried to go for it on 4th down. They've only converted once, Charles.
And obviously not a good percentage. And if you're going to go for it on 4th down, you think that you've got the right play dialed up. You can't be stopped. Your momentum's going to keep going. But 1 for 4, that tells you that you need to look at things in a different way, and you need to tip your cap to the defense. They've done a great job.
Roethlisberger dropping to a knee, and that ought to do it. Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Are you one of those guys that's skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. Got your notes laminated, because, open air booth, that rain can affect us as well, although not as much as the guys on the field. But let's face it, it's kind of fun to watch these types of games, isn't it?
It is. By the way, how impressive is it that you travel with a laminator? I didn't even know there was a portable laminator.
The things that you learn.
Golly, wise beyond his years. So for the Steelers, they remain one of the hottest teams out there as the win moves them to 6-1. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Detroit Lions. Meanwhile, for the Bengals, they can't quite seem to turn things around as they fall into 2-4 now on the year. And they'll have a chance at redemption next week at home against the Indianapolis Colts. So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. The Steelers are winners as we say so long from Heinz Field.